Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. K3 here. I know it's been so long since I posted content. I've been kind of busy, but yeah, I'm back. So today I wanted us to talk about youth involvement in politics in third world countries using my country Kenya as an example. You find that majority of the youth in third world countries are not engaged in political matters as much as the older generation. And we find that those who are engaged in political matters are usually those older youth, maybe from ages 30 to almost 40. They're the ones that represent the youth because most of the leaders do not want to involve youth in important matters. They don't want to engage us in those important matters that will help us to, create jobs for ourselves. So, why is it that youth are not involved in politics? And when I say politics, I mean transformative politics. I mean, you find that in most election times, youths are only used to create chaos, to bring about those terrible things. Like now, being the election that we're heading to the election year, you find that a lot of people are calling out on the youth to come out and vote, telling them how they are going to do things for them. And you know, you wonder, why aren't we engaged in the formulation of these policies? For example, you find that next year a lot of form fours are going to be out of school, and most of them have been encouraged to take IDs so that they can vote. But do these kids know what voting really entails? Do they know that casting that ballot is actually something that could assist them or something that could destroy their lives? And that is what I'm here about. The first questions that I would like you to ask yourself is, do you watch the news? And if you do, how many times in a week do you watch the news? You find that majority of us young people spend maybe 70 to 80% on entertainment platforms. But when it comes to politics, you find the TV is usually switched off. And this is because, we don't feel like we are engaged in political matters. And you find that most of us, even when we clear the our O levels, the form 4, most of us do not have skills. And if you have noticed, you'll find that in third world countries, politics seems to be the problem as well as the solutions. So how can our governments engage us in transformative politics? So I feel that the government should actually spend more on educating young people, especially those in high school, on political matters. Yes, they are taught about constitution, devolved government, but it is not in depth as it is. Because I think for many politicians, we are just their muse to get to power, and once they are up there, they forget about us. So um, the news, the reason why you find majority of the youth do not watch the news is because it's not captivating. You find that these leaders that are supposed to be role models to us are doing some political antics, or some things that they do, you just question them. You are like, what are these people doing? Like, they will say that don't youth should be peaceful during this election time, but you find they're the same people that are paying the youth to go out there and cause violence. And you cannot really blame the youth for this. You find that you're going to be given that 200 shillings and you do not have a job, you do not have something to eat. So what do? You just take it. Majority of our youth are also addicted to alcohol, they are addicted to other drugs, and they use this as a way to escape their reality. But why are our leaders like this? Why is it that when they get up there to power, you find that they forget about us? They don't bring those changes that they actually promise. So that's why I'm saying that the first thing the government should do, in third world countries is educate more youth on political matters, engage them as young as 15 years old. These people should, these kids should be able to know uh, about how our devolved system works, how there is a replica of the cabinet body in both the national and the county government, because you find majority of the youth don't know these things. You find there are things that happen that we don't know about, and you find we just finish school and then we are out here still broke. It's like even getting that education was not important. So I feel that the first thing the government should do is actually educate youth on political matters. Now, and the youth ourselves, we should try our best to, be interested in political affairs, get to know what is happening in our counties, get to know what the national government does, get to know all those things that the youth should be involved in. Uh, you can even try and look at the constitution, read a chapter on the affairs of the youth, because you'll find that in that constitution, in politics, that is where we'll find the answers to most of our problems. For example, right now, you'll find that in many counties, we do not have industries. For example, I've been to Tarakaniti County, and in that county, you find that there are not as many industries as you would get in other counties, and there are so many opportunities. But our youth, all of them, they run to the cities because you don't know what to do. You know that that is the place where you'll get opportunities. So, if the government could create opportunities for the youth, and when I say opportunities for the youth, like the Uwezo Fund, they should not put so much administration bottlenecks. They should not put so much procedures. If you have an idea, they should like encourage you incubate those businesses, because truth be told, the government cannot create jobs for us. There can be as parastatals as many as they are, they cannot accommodate all the youth. But if they were to create an enabling environment, this would enable the youth to create jobs for other youth. But have you even tried to open a business in this country as a youth? It is very hectic, it is very expensive, and mind you, you're just from school. Even getting that job is pretty difficult, and you don't know maybe how to start or where to start. We just lack that knowledge, because most of the things that we do, or most of the things that we learn in school, are theory. And if you yourself don't try to research on your own, and most of the time we find out these things late, you find that you will never succeed. You just remain where you are. Transformative politics mean that the youth are not going to be engaged in political wars, because you find that um, youth will be told, you are fighting for this, you are on this team, fight for this person, fight for this person. But after that election date, what happens? We are left to suffer. We are just left out here back hustling. Those friends that we were fighting, some we lose them during this election period. And so I think the youth should learn from our predecessors that anytime we are engaged in politics that is not transformative, it is us that end up suffering. It is our future that is actually robbed, because yes, I'm supporting this person. Maybe I'm supporting a person because of their policies, but that does not mean that we should actually go and kill this the other supporters. We should be in a political atmosphere where we are not too emotional in these affairs. We should look at the policies that these people are bringing forth, because you find that all these emotions that youth are in are what are inhibiting us from engaging in transformative politics. What does transformative politics do for the youth and for the future generation? Number one, it will help this current youth have or create opportunities for the future youth. How? By the government creating an enabling environment for us. If you hear the ideas that a lot of young Kenyans have, ideas that are so good if they are put into practice, but you find that the older generation does not want to maybe engage us in this or let us participate. Why? because to them we are just a muse for them to get to power, which is actually not good for us, because you find most of the time we have great ideas. Us, the youths, are able to secure our future at a young age. And being that we live in third world countries where life is not maybe as tedious as in other countries, this could help it even become more enjoyable and more comfortable. But if we keep staying in those politics, the old day politics where people are maybe practicing politics with emotions, with the tribes, with the insults, instead of having policies, formulating policies that are actually going to move our countries forward. If you look at youth in other countries, you find people as young as 12 years old are in business. You find people as young as 15 years old are doing music and it's paying them well. But in our continent, in our third world countries, you find that majority of the youth, they have to study and use their talent at the same time. But if we were to engage ourselves in transformative politics, that we are going to transform our lives, instead of the problems that our parents had, we are not going to carry that on to the next generation of our children, that life is going to be difficult, that life is going to be difficult for them as it was for us and as it was for our parents. Life should get easier as the generations goes by. Look at our country, Kenya, for example. You hear that every year there are cases of corruption. So much money has been lost. This money could have been put into great use. It could have helped create a lot of opportunities for the youth. It could have created an enabling environment. But what happens? We find that every single day the corruption is robbing the future of the youth of this country. And if we do not take action, the future generation is going to blame us, because they will learn what we did, and they will blame us, and chances are they will also continue with the same. Now, in engagement in transformative politics, how can we do it? How can we engage in transformative politics? Number one is that we need to educate the youth on matters politics. That is the very important thing that we should do. They should know what politics is about, and not these antics that we see on TV where this politician is insulting another. Like what real politics is about, like how politics can change the lives of the people in third world countries. Because if you look at most of the third world countries, these are rich countries with poor people. Why? We don't have the knowledge of exploiting our resources, and because of that, foreigners take advantage of that, and they come, they use our resources, they continue to enrich their countries. And what happens? Now we remain to be third world countries, developing countries, when most of us are actually very, very smart people, people who can do great things, but we have limited opportunities. Youth education on politics is going to be the best thing that can happen to us. We need to learn our constitutions. We need to learn about the devolved system and how it works and how it can help us achieve our dreams and help the economy of this country moving forward without even going to other counties. Like starting from your own county where you are. When you get to learn about the constitution and how the devolved system of that county works, you'll find that you can get so much information and get so much opportunity in your county to maybe start and run businesses which will create employment. So, in the next videos that I'll be posting, I'll be talking about, I'll be continuing on the youth involvement in politics segment, talking about how youth involvement in politics will actually help third world countries to improve their economy. And I will also be using examples of countries that were once economically dwarfs and now they are economical giants. So please keep looking at this space, keep checking this content. I'll be trying to post as much as possible. And if you see this video, make sure that you share, like, and subscribe. Let the people who are going to vote, the young people that are going to vote, let us remind them that it is our future that it is our future on the line here. If we make the wrong choices, then we get the wrong leaders for the next 5 years, and it is us that are going to suffer. And remember, we are not going to be youth forever. So let's call out those leaders. Let us make the right choice and let us engage ourselves in transformative politics. Until next time, goodbye.